after the news broke that the Acolyte had been cancelled and everyone celebrated because it was an absolute horrible show, all those stands that Star Wars has and, them Twitter freaks and all of them came out in an uproar talking about how everybody was racist and misogynistic and you just don't like the show and all of this nonsense and stuff. None of them are actually talking about the fact that the show was horrible. And I can actually say the show was horrible because I watched every episode and reviewed every episode and it was absolutely horrible. It was supposed to be some kind of murder mystery. There was no murder. There was no mystery. You understand me? There was supposed to be something about some Jedi Padawan and something like that. I don't even think that was there. The decisions and everything that were made were absolutely ridiculous. None of it made any sense. The only reason this show was interesting, was created interesting, this show was actually greenlit, was to be nothing more than an opportunity for Kathleen Kennedy to give Leslie Headland the opportunity to turn her Star Wars wet dream into reality. That was it. That was it, because she literally told her, you've written a Star Wars, you now write a Leslie Headland Star Wars show. That's what you want to do. You threw in a bunch of things in there that you figure would have gotten people to really love it. It didn't work. They just kept doing it. Well, now, the same people who have been claiming that Star Wars, the Acolyte, and I hesitate to use the word Star Wars when I was talking about that, was only cancelled because of racists and misogynists, have started a change.org campaign called #RenewTheAcolyte. Let's take a look at it here. Currently, it's at 46,620 signatures at the time of this video, and their goal is 50,000. Well, that's the next goal, because their goal from a few days ago was 30,000. They passed that, so the next goal is 50,000. Now, just to be make sure that there's a way, let me just refresh the page. Okay, it is refreshing, and yep, so that's it there. And I will give credit where credit is due. They've gotten 46,000 signatures. Well, over 46,000 signatures. Yeah. Are those signatures from, from people who want it back? Maybe are those signatures from people who want to just follow along? Maybe as well. But then again, there may be people who genuinely like the Acolyte, and I have no problem with that. If you like it, that's fine. But just be clear about the fact that this show was not fantastic or anything like that. It was not good at all. So we could all stop pretending like this was all somebody just lying about something that you liked it, fine. But the vast majority of people did not, and the numbers speak for themselves. Well, that's not enough for them at all. Now they're out there blaming everybody and anybody who didn't like it. And we have, thanks to Bounding into Comics, compiled a list of some of these nonsense. Let's take a look at this here. Star Wars stands blame cancellation of the Acolyte on everything but ratings. I'm really tired of sharing the franchise I love with toxic, misogynistic, immature racists. Now let me just take a moment there to see. You're really tired of sharing the franchise that you love. You all suddenly love this yesterday. It's the best way to put it. You suddenly love it yesterday. The people who have been fans of Star Wars for years, I mean literally years, some over 30, 40 years, they have been fans of Star Wars. You understand me? These are the people who know this show, who love this show, who want this franchise and everything to be absolutely fantastic. No, you don't care about that. You understand me? You don't care about that at all. You just want what you want. And you're out here calling people toxic and misogynistic and immature. But yet in my last video, these very people were the ones sending death threats. But that's not toxic. It's not toxic when they literally threaten to kill you. But no, if you don't love what they love, that's toxic. That's misogynistic. Hell no. Absolutely hell no. You don't get to pretend that you are a fan of this. That does not happen. Let's continue on. Yeah? Oh yes, look, Amanda Stenberg and her one facial expression. Instead of directing their anger towards the actual reasons behind the series' failure, namely Kathleen Kennedy, Leslie Headland, or literally anyone else involved in its production, devastated current-era Star Wars fans are blaming Disney's decision to cancel the Acolyte on such concepts as racism and misogyny. Yes, these are the people that Kathleen Kennedy wanted. She went out there and publicly stated that they're no longer going to follow what George Lucas created. To hell with him and what he meant. They're going to do what they want. On August 19th, a month following the series' season finale, Deadline's Nellie Andreeva reportedly learned from her inside sources that after just one season, the House of Moses had made the call to axe the Acolyte. The fact that they actually made it to begin with. Everybody knew the Acolyte was going to be a literal disaster before it even came out. You just had to look at what these people were saying when they were out there basically saying that, you know, oh, maybe the dark side and the Force aren't so bad. It's the Jedi that are an institution, and maybe we should allow these two little girls to be raised in this lesbian space witch cult. That makes sense. They destroyed everything that they could. Anakin Skywalker is no longer special or important for having been chosen one created by the Force. No May and Osha could do that as no May and Osha fit that role as well, I tell you. Despite absolutely abysmal viewership numbers, representing a terrible return on Disney's $180 million production budget investment, grieving stans have taken to claiming that the decision to cancel the widely panned series was actually the result of the company choosing to cater to a supposed legion of Star Wars fans who could not handle a story not centered on white males. Yes, because that is their one argument. They know it's not true. They know it's not real. But no, let's run in there and act like this is the problem because this is what they have been programmed to believe. Disney spent $180 million reportedly, because it's most likely more, and that's just the production budget. We don't know the marketing budget, but I'm guessing that's going to be quite large too, because they were promoting the Acolyte everywhere and anywhere, and it still flopped horribly. But no, they come out now and act like, you know, oh, the only reason that this happened is because Disney decided to cater to this group of people who do these things. Let's get into what some of them have been saying here. This one here for some snooping here. This is what I had to say. It wasn't about the numbers. They just show how incredibly racist and sexist they actually are. And unless they do something immediately to rectify this mess, they're never getting any new Star Wars fans ever again. I guarantee you this. If they make good Star Wars material, go back to doing what is important and what works for the canon of the story. Actually make it entertaining again. They will get a flood of fans in the billions. That's what they're going to get. But no, you don't care about that. You're out here calling them racist and sexist for what? I did a review for every episode of the act, and I've heard people do review for all kind of thing. Nobody had a problem with Amanda Stenberg being female or not being white or anything like that. Nothing like that of the foot. Nobody had a problem with that. The only ones talking about that are you. That's it. That's it. And even it wasn't even shows here how badly it was at that number 10 for the final week. No. They won't listen at all. X1, Daft Molly claimed it wasn't racism, it was the ratings. It's a weak argument because the loudest haters were the racist misogynists encouraging people to trash this show, but whatever. You often want to say it wasn't racism, it was ratings. It's a weak argument. The loudest haters were the racist misogynists encouraging people to trash this show, whatever. Again, as I say, I could answer that myself. I watched every episode. I pointed out in every episode what was wrong with it. Having an opinion does not make you a racist. Not loving something because of the skin color or sexuality of the people in it does not make you a racist or a homophobe or misogynist, anything like that. Telling the truth is telling the truth. I told the truth, and this is what happened. Disney lost millions of dollars behind this nonsense, and that is it. You have to realize it's a business that you're running. If you don't make money, you have to cut the fat and move on. But they don't care about that. They are perfectly happy to do whatever they want because they expect you to just keep losing money as long as you push the message that they want. That's it. People don't care if you go bankrupt. They're perfectly happy with that. Next one here, Rosemary. Interestingly, the show with probably the most POC representation is the first to get axed. May the space witches put a hex on Bob Iger and the toxic racists that review bombed the show. Hashtag renew the Acolyte. Yes, these are the very competent people who are not toxic at all. You're out here saying may the space witches put a hex on Bob Iger and the toxic racists that review bomb the show. It's always review bombing when people don't like it. When people love it, it's never review bombing. Yeah, never review bombing. I'm talking about how it is the show with probably the most POC representation and the first to get axed. Not a single person has said anything that they like about the Acolyte. None of them. Not a single person said anything about it. They haven't talked about the story being interesting. They haven't talked about it. They haven't talked about how this perfectly ties into the entire Star Wars lore and actually provides even deeper insight into what's going on all that. No. They have not mentioned the fact that, all the lightsaber battles was so cool and amazing. Nothing like that. All they talk about is POC and racism and all this nonsense. The majority of these people, I'm telling you, have never even watched the Acolyte, but they're out here complaining about it. That's it, because that's what they have been told to do. And next one, cancelling the Acolyte because of the racist and sexist Dudebros of the Star Wars fandom couldn't shut their effing mouths is just pathetic. And next one, but screw you, Disney. I'm so FR. Yeah, these are the people who are so the one with sexist Dudebros. If you don't like something, you don't like something, and that is your right to say so. These are the same people. When you complain how bad something is, what do they tell you? If you don't like it, don't watch it. Well, people weren't watching it, and you saw what happened. This is it. This is the result of it. So the very thing you're telling people not to do, run away. I probably watch more of the Acolyte than anybody else. I'm telling you, most people watch more of the reviews than they actually watched of that show. That's how bad it was. And next one here is from Yana. The Acolyte getting cancelled is actually so evil. Everything about it was so cool and so Star Wars. Okay, let's see what's going on. Telling a story from an era there isn't really any visual media about, and because a bunch of racist bigots couldn't bear to watch someone not white for a couple hours, it's over. Okay, first off, we do know some things about that era, so that is actually wrong, what you said there. And they talk about how because a bunch of racist bigots couldn't bear to watch someone not white for a couple hours, it's over. If people were watching this in the numbers you wanted, wouldn't have gotten cancelled. But people weren't watching it. You all refuse to acknowledge that fact, and you continue to do this. Next one here. I'm really tired of sharing the franchise I love with toxic, misogynistic, immature racists and constantly seeing them be catered to, even though the rest of us have been here all along wanting new and fresh stories that connect deeply with all of us. I don't know what she's talking about, but I am someone who's watched Star Wars. I'm not a Star Wars super fan, knows everything about it, but I've watched Star Wars, like Star Wars. A lot of people do, and people want good stuff. The Acolyte wasn't one. And the fact that like you're sharing this fragile, I love with people toxic, misogynistic, immature, racist, and constantly seeing them be catered to. If they were constantly being catered to, the Acolyte would have never been made. Claiming that if George Lucas had given women other than Princess Leia more than 63 seconds of speaking time in the original trilogy, Lucasfilm wouldn't be held hostage by the worst racist incel parts of the fandom. The Acolyte deserved better. First off, Princess Leia had a lot more than 63 seconds of speaking time. And there have been other characters added over the years other than Princess Leia. So I don't know what the hell you're talking about, but this is the kind of crap that they spew. And next one, it's been obvious that Star Wars has been directionless and derivative for a while, but cancelling the Acolyte just reaffirms that the franchise will keep catering to the racist, sexist Dudebros at the expense of creativity. You see, this is what happens when you don't realize what you're saying, because you sort of say that, you know, it's obvious that Star Wars has been directionless and derivative for a while. It's been that way ever since Kathleen Kennedy and Lucasfilm started doing the crap that they're doing. So you start off affirming that, you know, Star Wars has been a literal wreck because of them. And then you turn around now to say that, you know, oh, well, you know, if they keep catering to the racist and sexist Dudebros at the expense of creativity. The people who they're catering to is what caused Star Wars to become directionless and derivative. But this is what happens. These people never think before they say these things, you know. This is what happens to them. To this end, some angry fans went so far as to predict that the Acolyte's cancellation will in turn lead to nothing but more unoriginal and possibly AI-generated Star Wars productions. Yeah. One here say, okay, now we can go back to more Baby Yoda's random white dude in mask and more AI deepfake Luke Skywalker. Big win to Star Wars, sarcastically declared. Pedro Pascal isn't white, and Baby Yoda is something that happened under the very people who created the Acolyte. How do you all not realize what you're saying? Good Lord, boy. The next one says, the way Star Wars is going to be nothing but deepfake AI characters and a cooing green puppet for the next 20 years because a bunch of 40-year-old YouTubers thought there was too many women in this show is absolutely crazy. You all again, the literal Baby Yoda, the AI thing of Luke Skywalker, and all of this happened under the very people who created the Acolyte. Why don't you all understand? You all are literally calling out your own people when you do this. What are these people stupid? And next one coming and says, the direction Star Wars is going now, in the next 20 years, all Star Wars will be on the big screen is a CGI AI necromancy cluster F, all because some misogynistic, racist 40-year-old incels couldn't let it grow past the Clone Wars or the blight that is the Skywalker name. I can assure you a lot of people would love to see stories that aren't about that are not about Luke Skywalker or the Skywalkers, but calling it a blight. You can tell this person is not a Star Wars fan at all. But this is who they are. This is the kind of people that Disney listened to and make the Acolyte for, and it failed miserably. And rather than come out and admit that you are the very toxic fans that Disney listened to and made the Acolyte for, and people did not watch because they realized it was so horrible. No, you would rather blame everybody else but yourselves. Here it is, people, for all the world to see. These are the fans that Kathleen Kennedy and Leslie Headland made the Acolyte for. No wonder it failed miserably. Let me know your thoughts on this in the comments. If you have a different opinion, I'd love to hear it. If you like the video, hit that thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't already. Ring the notification bell to be notified every time I put out a new video. And I shall see you all next time. Take care.